Hello, I'm Isidoros Parlamas, and today we are going to talk about the pronunciation of the ending ed. How we pronounce the ending ed. How is it pronounced? The ending ed occurs only in regular verbs and only in the second and third forms. You see, like cleaned and cleaned here. It does not occur in irregular verbs, like this verb, for example, which is irregular. Okay, now there's three ways we can pronounce the ending ed. It can be pronounced as t, as id, or as d, and it depends on the final sound of form 1a. We're not talking about the final letter, but the final sound. Okay, for example, the final sound of clean is N. The final sound of beam is M. The final sound of dribble is L. So, if the final sound is one of these sounds here, it is pronounced as T. If the final sound is one of these two sounds, it's pronounced as id, and for all other final sounds, all the rest, it is pronounced as D. Now this letter is a double letter, okay? X is, it really consists of KS, okay? So this is considered for pronunciation purposes as two consonants, KS. It's a double consonant. X is a double consonant. Okay, so X is a double consonant. All right, now every English verb has 5 forms. Form 1a, form 1b, form 1c, the second form, and the third form. Okay, let's explain. Form 1a has 2 functions. One function is the infinitive. It functions as an infinitive, bezokolicznik, and the other function is the present simple. And form 1b has only one function and has a very limited use. This form is used only in the affirmative of the present simple in the third person singular, like he, she, it. So together, form 1a and form 1b make up the present simple in the affirmative only, in the affirmative only. Now, form 1c is the gerund, which has a broad use because it's used in all continuous or progressive tenses. The second form has a very limited use. It's used only in the affirmative of the past simple. And the past participle has a broad use because it's used in all perfect tenses as well as in every tense in the passive voice. So form 1a, 1b and the second form have limited use. Now form 1, you see these 3 forms contain the number 1, 1a, 1b, 1c. Why? Because they all are derived from this form, from the first, from form 1a. Okay, now there is one exception. The verb be has 8 forms, not 5 forms. Okay, let's count them. Be, am, are, is, being, was, were, been. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the verb be has 8 forms. Form 1b1 is am. Form 1b2 is are. Form 1b3 is. Form 1c is being. Second form a is was. And second form b is were. And third form is been, which is the past participle. Now form 1a is b. Now b also has 2 functions. One function is the infinitive, and the other is the present the present tense of the subjunctive. Now, a lot of you don't know this. We may discuss about this in another video, but the subjunctive is like I be, you be, he be, she be, it be, we be, you be, they be, okay? But in the indicative, we say I am, you are, he is, etc. So we have the indicative and the subjunctive mood. Okay. So this is an irregular verb. Have, has, having, had, had. Ed does not occur in irregular verbs. Now, as we said before, the final sound here is N. So clean, cleans, cleaning, cleaned, cleaned. Final sound N, Ed is pronounced like D. It falls under this category. Now, final sound B, M here, M. Beam, beams, beaming, beamed, beamed. It also falls under this category, okay? Final sound M, ending ED is pronounced like D. The ending ED is pronounced like D. Dribble, final sound L. Dribble, dribbles, dribbling, dribbled, dribbled. It also falls under this category. Snub, final sound B. Snub, snubs, snubbing, snubbed, snubbed. Also under this category, okay? This category here. Involve, final sound V. It also falls under this category. Involve, involves, involving, involved, involved. So final sound V. It falls under this category. Value, final sound U. Value, values, valuing, valued, valued. Final sound U. Pronunciation of ending ED like D, like here. Change. Okay, now change. The final sound is J, okay, which I represent with DZ. J. Change, changes, changing, changed, changed. Now here you see that we add ES, and this is about euphony. You see here in form 1B, after the final sounds J, S, Sh, Ch, Ch, X, we add ES, okay? To ensure euphony. Dodajemy ES, aby zapewnić euphonię. So, this is what's happening here, because if we just say change, it doesn't make sense. We have to achieve euphony, so we add ES, and euphony is about making something easier to pronounce. That's what euphony is about. So change, changes, changing, changed, changed. But of course, like if we scroll down here, we have the verb plague. Now, plague, this is the final sound, G. So there's no reason to change this here because we have euphony. Plague, plagues. We can still hear the S. Okay, this E is not, it comes from here. It's not an extra E. So plaguing, plagued, plagued. So this is G. Okay, and it's in this category. And this is J, and it's also in this category. So rage, rages, raging, raged, raged. You see? So here we have to add ES. Here we add only S. This E comes from here. It's not an extra E. And of course, beg, begs, begging, begged, begged, also G. Okay, and we have euphony, and because we can hear the S, begs. And here we have J, judge, judges, judging, judged, judged. So we have to say here, this is euphony, judges, judges. This is not euphony because it's plagues. It's not plagues, plagues. judges, okay, rages. So this is rages, judges. We have euphony here. I mean, we achieve euphony by adding es, okay, because we have this ju. But here we don't have ju, we have gu, okay, plagues, begs, rages, judges. Here we have to add es to ensure euphony, okay, here, euphony. So go up here and it's the same here, changes. Okay, sigh, final sound e, sa, e, sigh, sigh, sighing, sighed, sighed. Final sound e, and the ending ed is pronounced like a d. It's this category here. Ski, final sound e, ski, skis, skiing, skied, skied. Okay, and p, final sound e, p, peas, peeing, peed, peed. Final sound e, and the ending ed is pronounced like d. Okay, boo, here, number 13. Boo, boo, booze, booing, booed, booed. Final sound oo, boo, booed. Trouble. Now here the final sound is L. Trouble, troubles, traveling, 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 traveled, traveled. Here we have a choice, we have an option. We can have a single L, one L, which is American English, or double L, which is British English, okay? Why? Because we, the stress falls on the last syllable, you see? The stress falls on the last syllable. It could be travel, the stress falls on the first syllable. It could be travel or travel. It's not travel, it's travel. So because the stress does not fall on the last syllable, we have an option. It can be one L or two L's. Or double L, one L or double L, one L or double L, because the stress falls on the first syllable, travel, okay? But if the stress falls on the last syllable and the verb ends in EL, like in this instance here, like propel, it's not propel, it's propel. So here we don't have an option. It must be double. It must be a double L. Okay, propel, propels, propelling, propelled, propelled. Last sound is L, and it's pronounced like a D here, as a D. Okay, so if we had cancel, it would be like trouble. It could be cancelling with one L or cancelling with two L's, and it could be cancelled with one L or cancelled with two L's, because in cancel the stress falls on the first syllable. Cancel, travel, okay, marvel. If we had marvel, the same would happen. Marvel, marvels, marveling, marveled, marveled, okay? Trouble, cancel, marvel, but propel. Now number 61, propel. Now we don't have a choice here. It must be double. And this is what we're saying here. We double, okay, we double when these three conditions hold simultaneously. They have to hold simultaneously. If one of those breaks, then we do not double. So the stress must fall on the last syllable, and here the stress does not fall on the last syllable, travel, okay? And the last syllable must contain one vowel. It does contain one vowel, and the last syllable ends in only one consonant. When these things happen, we must double, okay? we must double. So in this verb travel, we do not have to double. Why? Because the stress falls on the first syllable, okay, on the first syllable. So this condition breaks, but because it ends in EL, we have a choice, we have an option, only because it ends in EL. This is an exception, okay? Now we're going to see this later on. Okay, let us see it here now. For example, here we don't double. Look, why? Because the second condition breaks. Last syllable contains only one vowel, but this contains two vowels. This has only one syllable, so this one syllable is both the first syllable and the last syllable, okay? But because it contains two vowels, it doesn't double. You see, we have one K. And here we don't double. Why? Because the third condition breaks here. The third condition says the last syllable ends in only one consonant, but this ends in two consonants, so we don't double, picking. But here we double. Why? Because it's one syllable, which means it's the last syllable, as well as the first. It has only one vowel, and it ends only in one consonant. So we double. Stopping, stopped, stopped, okay? And what I was saying before is that when the verb ends in EL and the stress falls on the last syllable, we have an option between American and British English, but only when the stress falls on the first syllable. When it falls on the last syllable, like propel, we don't have an option, we must double, you see? So we have a special case because the verb ends in EL. Okay, another if it did not end in EL, we would not have to double. But when it ends in EL, even though the stress does not fall on the last syllable, we can double it, but only in British English. Okay. All right. So study. Now here we have a consonant and Y. Spugosca plus Y. In this case, we discard Y and we add IES. Study, study, studying. Also here, IED, studied, studied. Be careful, okay? Why? Because we have consonant and Y. Now play. Here we have vowel and Y. Samugosca plus Y. Here nothing special happens. We don't do anything special here because we have vowel and Y. Plays, playing, played, played. Final sound E we pronounce like D. It's in this category. Okay. Now fly, fly, flies. We have consonant and Y. Spugosca, Y, and we have to do this here. Flies, flying. Okay, but this is irregular, so it's flew, flown. But be careful here. Pray, normal. We have vowel Y, praise, praying, prayed, prayed. Last sound E, pray, E, pronounced like D as D. It's in this category. Now we have sniff, final sound F. You see here when we have the final sound F, it must be pronounced T, like the ending ED must be pronounced as T. So sniff, sniffs, sniffing, sniffed, sniffed. Okay, the T must be clear and loud. Sniffed. Okay, we must spit it out. Sniff, sniffs, sniffing, sniffed, sniffed. Okay, laugh. Now final sound is an F. remember, we are not interested in the final letters. We are interested in the final sound. And the final sound is laugh. Laughs, laughing, laughed, laughed. Final sound F, pronounced like T. Stoke. Final sound K. Stoke, stoke, stoking, stoked, stoked. Okay? Pronounced it as a T because the final sound is K. Pick. Final sound K. So pick, picks, picking, picked, picked. This is the final sound, so we pronounce it as a T. That's why we have this here. So cough, final sound F, we pronounce it as a T. Cough, coughs, coughing, coughed, coughed. Stop, final sound P. Final sound P, we pronounce it as a T. Stop, stop, stopping, stopped, stopped. Beep. You see here we double because all these three conditions hold simultaneously, okay? But in beep, number 26, we don't pronounce because this condition breaks. Condition number 2, last syllable contains only one vowel, okay? But here, the last syllable, which is also the first syllable, contains only two vowels. Contains two vowels. So we don't double. We have beeping, beeped, beeped, P, and it's pronounced like a T. Let's go to strip. Strip, strips, stripping, stripped, stripped with double because all three conditions here hold, okay? But stripe, they don't because because the last syllable ends in E. So the third condition breaks. The last syllable must end in only one consonant, but ends in a vowel, the last syllable. It ends in a vowel, okay? So the third condition here breaks. So stripe, stripes, striping, striped, striped. Final sound P, it's pronounced like a T. Final sound P. Type, final sound P. Type, types, typing, typed, typed. We don't double because the last syllable does not end in only one consonant. It ends in a vowel. Kiss, final sound S. So this is the final sound. So it's pronounced like a T. Kiss, kisses. So here we have euphony, okay? Because look, we have euphony here. So kiss, kisses. I mean, we have euphony everywhere, but here we must achieve euphony by adding es, okay? So kiss, kisses, kissing, kissed, kissed, s, and pronounced as t, the ending ed. Finish. So we are in this situation here, finish, okay? And it's pronounced like a t. So finish, final sound sh. Finishes, we must achieve euphony here. Finishing, finished, finished. Touch, we are here. So it's pronounced like this. And we must achieve euphony. Touch, touches, touching, touched, touched. We are here. Now watch. We are here, we must achieve euphony, and it's pronounced as T. So watch, watches, watching, watched, watched. And start. Now here, this is the final sound, and it must be pronounced as id. I forgot mix, sorry, mix. So the final sound is X. But remember, X is a double consonant. So we don't double because the third condition breaks. It ends in one consonant, but this consonant is a double consonant, so we don't double. and we say mix, mixes. We must achieve euphony. Mixing, mixed, mixed. Now start. Start, the last sound is T, so it must be pronounced as id. The ending ed must be pronounced as id. So start, starts, starting, started, started. Okay? Last sound T, and it must be pronounced as id. Start, started, started, started. Okay? Trade, last sound D. So last sound is D, and this ending must be pronounced as id. As id. So skid, skids, skidding, skidded, 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 id, skidded. Infect, last sound T. So T must be pronounced as id. Infect, infects, infecting, infected, infected. We are here. Now, roar, last sound is R. Roar, roars, roaring, roared, roared. Last sound R, it's pronounced like D. We are in this category here. Now, tie, lie, die. We have these three, okay, which are unique. So what is unique about them? They form the gerund like this, okay? They have this Y here. Be careful, okay? So tie, ties, tying, tied, tied. The final sound is E, 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 okay? E here, and E here. So we are in this category. So tie, ties, tying, tied, tied, lie, lies, lying, lied, lied, die, dies, dying, died, died. So remember these three verbs, they have a peculiarity, okay, and this is what's peculiar about them, the gerund, the Y here, okay. Now we have 43, 45, and 46, okay? 43, 45, and 46. They retain the E here. They retain the E, you see? They retain the E. So let's do 43. Die. Dies, dying, died, died. Okay, final sound E. Okay, so sing, sings, singing, sang, sung. We don't say sung. This is sung. This is sang. Sang, sung. Sang, sung. We have many verbs like this. For example, let me see. Here, swam, swam, you see, swam, swam, drank, drunk, began, begun, began, begun, drank, drunk, swam, swum. So be careful, we have many verbs like this, okay? So it's the same here, sang, sung. So this is irregular, of course, okay? But here it's singe, sing, okay? Singe, singe, singes. We must, okay? This should be DZ here. This is a mistake. This should be DG here. Okay, just a moment. So we have singe, singes, so we must achieve here euphony because we are in this situation here, and it's J and it's pronounced like D, so, but we must achieve euphony here because we are here, okay? So we have singe, singe, singes, singing, singed, singed. Okay? And the same here. Age, ages. We must achieve euphony here. Aging, aged, aged. So we have number 2 here, number 2 here, and number 2 here. Why? Because in the gerund, these three verbs retain the E. You see? They retain the E. Be careful. Okay. So, buy, buys, buying, bought, bought. This is irregular. Okay? This is irregular. Teach, teaches. We must retain here, we must achieve here euphony. Teaching, taught, taught. Irregular. Grow, grows, growing, grew, grown. Irregular. Lose, loses. Okay? We have to retain here euphony. Just a moment. So lose, okay, the final sound, the final sound is Z. So we have to retain euphony, loses, because we are here, okay, loses. So use, the final sound is Z, so we have to retain euphony, uses, uses, because we are here, okay, and it's use, uses, using, used, used. Final sound Z, and ed is pronounced like D. We are in this situation. Now, remember, when this word is a noun, okay, is a tzovnik, a noun, it's use. When it's a verb, is use. Okay? All right, close. Final sound Z. This is the final sound, okay? Z. So we must achieve euphony. Close, closes. Closing, closed, closed. It's the final sound is Z, so we are here. Okay. Toss, tosses, tossing, tossed, tossed. Final sound S, so it's pronounced like T. We are here now. Okay. Refer, refers, referring, referred, referred. Now we double here, okay? We double here. Why? Because all three conditions hold. Look. We have two syllables, so it could be refer or refer. Refer, refer, but it's refer. The last syllable, the stress falls on the last syllable, refer. The last syllable ends in only one consonant, and the last syllable contains only one vowel. So we must double. Refer, referring, referred, referred. But look at this, alter. Could be alter or alter. Alter, alter. But it's not alter, it's alter. So this condition breaks, okay? The stress falls on the first syllable, not the last syllable. Okay, so we cannot double. Alter, alters, altering, altered, altered. Okay. Now admit. The stress falls on the last syllable. Admit, admits, admitting with double. Admitted with double. Admitted with double. A final sound T, ed is pronounced like id. Admitted. But look now here, audit, audit. It's not audit, audit. So this condition breaks because the stress does not fall on the last syllable. So it's audit. Audits, auditing, we do not double. We do not double. Audited, audited. We do not double, okay? Now begin. Begins, beginning with double. Because all three conditions hold. Okay? The stress falls on the last syllable, begin. The last syllable ends in only one consonant, and the last syllable contains only one vowel. So begin, begins, beginning, beginning, began, begun. Be careful. Began, begun. Okay? Now, swim, 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 swimming with double. Swam, swam, careful, swam, swam, okay? Why do we double? Because all three conditions hold, okay? This is only one syllable, only one vowel, it ends only in one consonant, and of course the stress falls on that syllable because it's the only syllable. Now propel, we talked about this before. This is the special situation where the verb ends in el. When the verb ends in el and the stress falls on the last syllable, we must double. But if the verb ends in el and the stress falls on the first syllable, like travel, cancel, marvel, then in British English we double, but in American English we have a single L. So propel, propels, propelling, propelled, propelled. Okay. Now plow. Remember, here a lot of times GH is pronounced like F. You see, laugh, cough, but not always. Here we have plow, plow. So the last sound is U, plow. So plow, plows, plowing, plowed, plowed. This is not pluff, this is plow. So be careful, you need to know how the verb is pronounced, okay? Do not make any assumptions. Rage, rages, we must achieve here a euphony. Raging, raged, raged. We have J and it's pronounced like a D, so we are in this situation. Plague, plagues, plaguing, plagued, plagued. It's G, so we are in this situation. Beg, begs, begging, begged, begged. Of course we double because we have all three conditions, okay, here. And judge, judges, we have to achieve euphony. Judging, judged, judged. So we have this here, okay. So this is it. I hope this will prove helpful and it will help you remove any doubts you've had about how to pronounce the ending ed. Thank you.